Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So things continue to unravel for Donald Trump. DJ stock continued its decline today. It hit a brand new low of only $14.56. It bounced around a bit, but it never made it past $15.37. That was the high. So I guess you could say that Trump just can't keep it up. And guess what today is? It is the official end of the 6-month lockup period. So that means that Trump and all these other people who were handed stock before it went public, they can now start selling their shares tomorrow. And we already know 2 of the original co-founders of the company are planning to do that, because you might recall, I shared about a week or so ago, a couple of them took Trump to court, or Trump was actually trying to fight it and prevent them from selling their shares. And the judge said, no, they have every right to sell. So buckle up. It's going to get fun. So Trump also got some bad news on the economy because the Fed cut the interest rates by 0.5 point. So that undermines one of his major talking points about the economy, because a rate cut obviously signals that inflation is down, right? And it also is easing some pressure, or is going to ease pressure on everyday Americans. So, it'll reduce credit card rates, mortgage interest rates. And as sick as it is, Trump wants everyone to be stressed. He doesn't want that because, it gives him a way to blame Kamala Harris. So Trump is not happy with the Fed. He told a journalist, quote, "I guess it shows the economy is very bad to cut it by that much. Assuming they're not just playing politics, the economy would be very bad, or they're playing politics, one or the other." Kind of funny. I mean, I don't remember Trump saying that the economy was bad, or that Jerome Powell and the Fed was playing politics when they cut interest rates under his administration. Funny how that works. Anyway, the news got even worse for Trump with new polling. There's a must-win swing state that you may have heard of, and Quinnipiac released their polls for 3 of these states that are very crucial. So Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, which is considered to be the major one, Pennsylvania. They show Harris beating Trump by 6% in Pennsylvania. That is outside of the margin of error, by the way. She's leading Trump by 5 points in Michigan and by 1 point in Wisconsin. A few pollsters pointed out that Quinnipiac polls have favored Democrats in more recent years, so they haven't always been completely accurate. So for example, Frank Luntz, he noted that they had Biden up, meaning Quinnipiac, by 13% in October of 2020 in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, he did win that state, but he won it by just over 1%. So is she really up by 6 in that state? Probably not, right? It appears to be an outlier, but it does follow the same trend and the same pattern that we've been seeing. So for example, a New York Times Philadelphia Inquirer poll shows that Harris and Trump are tied at 47%. But they show Harris with a 4-point lead in the state of Pennsylvania. So tied nationwide, but they show 4 points in Pennsylvania. And Harris just scored a very big win in a critical battleground, or in a bunch of critical battleground states. So yesterday, you guys may have heard, everybody was up in arms because the Teamsters union, for the first time in decades, they announced they're not going to endorse either candidate because overall their people couldn't agree, right? It was like 60% were voting for Trump, the other like 30 some were voting for Kamala. So several Teamster chapters decided today to defy the national organization, and they actually endorsed Harris. So as of today, the local chapters in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Nevada all declared their support for Harris. And the Michigan Teamster president issued a statement saying, quote, "The Harris-Walz ticket offers a comprehensive vision for America, one that not only prioritizes economic fairness, but also stands steadfastly by our nation's workers. Their record and future plans are exactly what our country needs to continue growing and prospering." I urge all my Teamster members and fellow citizens to lend their support to this outstanding campaign. In conclusion, as a nation, we must move forward and protect and grow the middle class. We are not going back. So we actually use their campaign slogan. And yeah, I mean, Trump's administration did nothing but union bust. For a union organization to even consider him is ludicrous. And so after this, then other Teamsters unions, other divisions of the Teamsters came out in support of Harris and Walz. California, Hawaii, Guam, Florida, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. They all endorsed Harris-Walz. So, good news, but we cannot become complacent because there's some other data sets out there that are concerning. So, for example, a local Pennsylvania news outlet reported that Democrats have the most narrow voter registration advantage that they've had in decades. So they report that although Democratic voter registration jumped after Biden left the race, Republican registration increased as well, and it increased even more than the Democrats. Now, there's still reason to be hopeful. So again, we have to get out and vote. We have to tell people it's important for them to vote. This election is one of the most crucial that we will ever have, undoubtedly, in our life. But a data scientist named Thomas Miller is now predicting a landslide victory for Harris. Miller accurately predicted how the Electoral College would shake out in 2020. The only thing he missed was Georgia. And he believes that Harris is going to end up with a Lyndon B. Johnson or Bill Clinton type of routing in November. So this is a major change in his thinking. Even before Biden had that disastrous debate in June, Miller was predicting a massive win for Trump. So this guy is not biased. He's not like, oh, I just always go with the Democrat. Based on his forecast model, Miller is saying that Harris could win as many or more than 400 electoral college votes. Now, I don't know if that's accurate, but Miller says, quote, it's gone from a drastic landslide in Trump's direction to a drastic landslide for Harris. And Miller predicts that Harris will win all of the battleground states. So he's talking Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. It's tough to say, but there's other evidence. A new Atlanta Journal-Constitution poll shows Harris is gaining on Trump in Georgia. The same poll was conducted back in June, and Trump was beating Biden by 5 points. So their most recent survey has Trump at 47 and Harris at 44. So still 3%, but that is within kind of the margin of error. Their margin of error is 3.1%. And they said 7% of voters still are undecided. So there's a chance. Also, I teased the other day that YouGov, they had a poll showing participants different words. They were asking these people, what words would you most use to describe Donald Trump, right? And they gave them a list of potential options. As you see in this graphic, nearly 55% chose rude, 50% said old. So these were the top two vote getters. Not exactly what you want to be remembered for, old and rude. I also have a couple of bizarre MAGA stories to share. So first of all, you may not believe this, but there was a MAGA fashion show. I am not joking. This is not a joke. People online thought it was a parody because it was so cringeworthy. It was so bad. It was seriously like an SNL skit. So check out this one short clip from part of the show.
You ready to make America great again?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, The person who put that online said, quote, "We've got Taylor Swift and they have this." And what I said was, "We have Taylor Swift, they have plumber's crack." They have plumber's crack guy. And then there was another video where women are parading on the runway and they have all this clothing on that has MAGA printed on it, or actual Make America Great Again printed on it. And then there's another guy who was absolutely butchering the Star Spangled Banner. So just like a freaking SNL skit, seriously. And I will leave you with this other strange MAGA story. So several people who attended Trump's recent Arizona rally, they ended up with some weird eye injuries. Approximately 6 people, they were all seated on one side of the stage. These were only people who were on the stage behind Trump. They had people on the left, people on the right. This only occurred with the people on the right. They ended up, some of them, in the hospital that night. Some of them had to go to the doctor. They had severe burning of their eyes. It lasted for days. One woman said she was practically blinded for a period of time. Her eyesight is now coming back. But doctors haven't been able to determine what is going on, what caused all of these symptoms. So very strange. You know, the doctors, I guess, kept asking them, did you get sprayed with something? That's what it seemed like to them. But again, only happened to the people who were seated on the right. So I don't know, there's like scabies going on. I mean, I actually don't know what scabies even is. So just kidding, but herpes, I don't know. Somebody did something over there. Anyway, I will let you know if I hear any more. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it, become a subscriber, become a donor if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.